Proud of the guys, the staff. I felt like we were prepared. The guys were in shape. We had some cramping issues, but I think that's normal for a first game. So I was really proud of the way the guys approached it from a mental standpoint. This morning at team breakfast, all the way through our pregame warm-up, I thought they showed up and were ready to go. Obviously, without watching the tape, there's special teams issues with our punt return. I felt like they ran the ball a little bit better than we expected them to, so we got to get some stuff figured out from that side of it. And then offensively, I just didn't like the way we finished. I felt like that last drive to get the 3 points was good, but there was too many drives before that, the last two before that I felt like we stalled out and kind of were satisfied with where we were. A little bit of that had to do with us slowing down the tempo, so I understand that part. But to give up that much penetration on the second and short, then you take the penalty and you move back, and then we put the football on the ground coming out of our own two. That's not good football. We got to get that cleaned up. The positive part about that sequence was the way the defense came back on the field, and Sammy Ahern gets a huge pick to shut down all their momentum. So a lot of good, but a lot that we can clean up on Monday as well.
How about starting early? You guys jumped on right away. I imagine you were pleased with that, especially with this being your first time in real game action.
No doubt about it. And again, that's been something that we've been stressing. Obviously we've talked a couple different times in the last couple of weeks about them having their game under their belt and us being idle last week. So, what kind of football are you going to play when you show up after a team's already got one game in them? But I thought that it was a huge thing for us to get started, especially offensively. You got a brand new Q, a lot of guys up front that are new. They did what they did with D-Will to shut him down. He made some plays, but for Ethan Champney to show up and him and Alex, a high school connection, their high school teammates, to do what they did today, to pick up the slack, if you will, in that sense, was big. I mean, it wasn't even just the first drive. There were times throughout the game where it's third down. Ethan Champney makes three guys miss for 6. And then late in the game there, we hit that long one on the same exact call to keep us on the field as well. So, the starting fast was awesome. I wish we would have scored on that first drive, but, the defense comes out and gets a huge stop to get us right back on the field, and I felt like we just kept the foot on the gas from there.
Yeah, talk about the defense today. They never let them really get any momentum.
Yeah, I mean, again, there's I can't say enough about those guys. We've been talking for 6 months now about how they need to be the leaders and set the tone for everything. I felt like they did that. I don't even remember what the score was, but then you get the big scoop and score to put us up by, I think, 3 scores at that time, 21-3 or whatever it was. When those guys up front are playing at a high level, it makes everything easier on the back end. Coverage, linebackers to flow to the football, and so on. I feel like we need to keep moving forward with our conditioning. Sam Kinney's playing his first football in 2 years, so getting his legs back under him, Schlicht and Cribbs and our guys that are playing inside, I felt like everybody played a solid football game, and that's part of our defense. You bend, don't break. Again, we got to shore up the run fits a little bit for next week, but we'll see what happens from week 1 to week 2 with that part of it.
Obviously, without watching the tape, seeing the final stats, what did you learn about the offense today?
I think that I was pleased. One of the things that we were concerned with going in was our own conditioning. We've done some different things in the last 3 weeks that we have not done here with the way we practice and the way that we are conditioning. When you're not playing a game and you're just going against yourself or scouts, it's tough to see where you're at with everything. But one of the things going into it was we weren't sure how much tempo we were going to be able to use because we didn't think we were in that good a shape. I did think that we had a huge advantage in terms of our tempo that we were playing with and their side not being quite ready for that pace that we were playing at. So the drive that I'm most proud of the entire day was I think we ran inside zone 3 or 4 times, all for big chunks, and then Colby, shot out of that one for whatever it was, a 20-yard touchdown. But I thought the guys showed up at that point. I felt like we proved that we were capable of moving the ball on the ground. Alex Freese helped a little bit out with his legs as well, but they're coming. I'm really proud of the guys up front. That's been an emphasis again since December that we need to be better on the offensive line, and they've heard it over and over again. I'm sure they're sick of hearing it. But to come out today and do what they did, really proud of those guys.
Yeah, I feel like another pivotal moment was Alex coming out hurt. Joe goes in, and 3 plays later, 4 plays later, throws a touchdown.
Yep. And again, obviously, Champney makes a huge play on that. He made 3 guys miss, but Joe, being a redshirt freshman Q, to come in with that kind of poise, and not only, we threw it on the first play he was in too. It was a swing pass, but just to get him started, I didn't think that the defense was going to be ready for him to come in and throw the ball, so we tried to get it out on the edge. They defended it really well, but to get into a third down and for him to have his eyes right where he was supposed to says a lot about him in a backup role, understanding the game plan. If they're going to play this certain coverage, we're going right back to what was working all day, and obviously took advantage of it. So that was a real cool deal for him.
Last thing for me, Dan. First win under your belt as head coach. What does that mean to you, having spent so much time in this program as a player?
Yeah, it's awesome. I appreciate you saying it. I think myself and the rest of the staff are all excited to get us off to a good start here. But I can't say enough about the locker room. Happy for those guys, seeing how happy they were after the game and the celebrating in the locker room. We put a ton of work into this thing, and at the end of the day, we're trying to get those guys to have the same kind of experience that we had when we were playing. And anytime you get a win, it doesn't matter who you're playing, you got to be able to celebrate it. And it was awesome seeing all the smiles in the locker room after the game.